Hi, sisters and brothers. Getting your students ready to learn is so important with teenagers, and certainly in the morning. A readiness, as we have sometimes called it, is simple and only takes maybe 3 to 5 minutes. It gets everybody thinking on the same page, so it's easy to participate in. And finally, it leads to the scriptures. Let me say that one more time. It's simple and short. It helps everyone participate, so it should be very easy to participate in. And finally, it always leads to the scriptures. I'm going to give you 2 ideas of how you can use some readiness to help your students get ready to learn something from 2 Nephi 5 and then something from 2 Nephi 9. Take a look. In 2 Nephi 5, Nephi is commanded to leave his brothers, and it would have been a terrible, terrible situation. In the lesson manual, that it focuses on this moment for them, and it has the Book of Mormon video, which I think is actually really good because it shows the emotional challenge that would have been in between all of the families as Nephi's family and those that want to follow him leave, and Laman and Lemuel stay. It would have been a scary and hard thing. But Nephi had to have heard it from the Lord to know that it was the right thing. This little readiness activity is designed to help your students think about what they need to do to be able to hear the voice of the Holy Ghost, especially on really important issues. Now, there's this little teeny clip. It's really short. It's about 1 minute and 15 seconds, and it's just full of noise, but there's a background voice in it giving some really important instructions. See if you can make out what the background voice is saying.
This is the voice you need to listen to.
7, 8,
I have some very important information. I need you to listen very carefully to my voice.
3, 2,
This is the voice you need to listen to.
1,
If
2,
you can hear and understand my voice, raise your right hand.
6, 7, 8,
This is the voice you need to listen to. In Jesus' name. I have some very important information.
5, 4,
I need you to listen very carefully to my voice.
1, 2,
This is the voice you need to listen to.
5, 6,
If you can hear
7,
and understand
8,
my voice, raise your right hand. This is the voice you need to listen to. I have some very important information for you. I need you to listen very carefully to my voice.
Did you catch it? Did you hear that she was inviting you to raise your right hand if you could hear her? And as your students hear it, some of them will raise their hand because they'll be able to hear it. And you can give them like a piece of candy or something. And then, of course, other hands will fly up. But that's okay. Say, hey, everybody, just listen really closely. See if you can listen really closely. And then let them listen to it again. Now, if you want this video, just shoot me a text. We'll get it to you. That's no problem. Then, turning to 2 Nephi chapter 5 and visualizing what had happened between this family and how they are separating and how Nephi is the one that receives the revelation to leave. Thinking about how hard that is. And that will lead right into a good discussion of how they are working to separate all of the voices in the world and everything that they're doing to be able to hear the Holy Ghost. That'll work, right? That could be really fun. It's a good readiness. Easy to participate in, short and simple, and leads right to the scriptures. All right, this next one is actually going to be demonstrated for you by some of our friends, Elder and Sister Renlin. And it's going to show that sometimes things that look impossible with God's help can be possible. Take a look at this little demonstration, and then I'll tell you how you might be able to use it with 2 Nephi chapter 9, or really any place where someone is asked to do something very challenging that looks impossible. Take a look.
We have here a board with a nail in it. We have 12 additional nails as well. So, dear, I have a task for you. Will you balance the 12 other nails on top of the one nailed into the board?
Say what?
Is it possible? Well, there you've got one. You need 11 more. While working out this puzzle, some might try to put one on top and then quit. But if you are willing to say instead, is it possible? You might be willing to take another approach. Try it this way. Lay one nail in front of you. Now place another nail across the first nail with the point toward you. Lay the next nail across the first nail with the point away from you. Continue placing all but the last nail across the first nail in this alternating pattern. As you do so, you see there's a method. You begin to think, this may be possible. Your hope increases. Finally, you're almost there.
My hopes really increased here.
Right. Lay the last nail above and parallel to the first nail across the other nails. Right, just like that. Now, very carefully, touching only the bottom nail, lift them all and place the bottom nail on the nail in the board.
So you could use this in a million different places, but you have 2 Nephi coming up. And in 2 Nephi, Jacob is the one that's speaking to the people. And really, when you think about it, it's kind of a new group of people, right? They've left Laman and Lemuel. And he's talking about how if it wasn't for the atonement, it would be impossible for them to escape the devil. Take a look at some of these phrases. It must needs be an infinite atonement. Save it should be infinite. This corruption could not put on incorruption. For behold, if the flesh should rise no more, our spirits must become subject to that angel who fell. Jacob is saying things like, our spirits must have become like unto him, and we became devils to an angel, to be shut up from the presence of God. So those things would have absolutely happened. It would have been impossible to avoid them. And then later on in the verses, Jacob gives the explanation as to how those things will be avoided, and you'll be able to get into the scriptures. Do you see how readiness works? They're short, they're sweet, they're easy to participate in, and they always lead to the scriptures. Give these two a try and come up with some of your own. Thanks, brothers and sisters.